Welcome in everybody to Fortuna Tulsa versus Texas Spurs here on a beautiful sunny morning here at One Oak. We can't wait to get going because Fortuna Tulsa have already wrapped this league up. They are 6-0-1 and today they entertain Texas Spurs, who've had somewhat of a struggle this season, just 1 point at the bottom. Well, earlier on we caught up with both coaches before this game. Well, Yo, congratulations. You are the champions of this league. How does that feel?
It feels good, but we're not done yet.
Absolutely. Important game today. You want to finish strongly before the playoffs, no doubt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think it changes anything that we've been doing thus far. Just want to put on a good performance and get 3 points.
Could it have gone any better for you? I mean, when you look back over those games?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, very happy where we are.
Just want to take you back to a moment in the game again, the very first game when you got that last-minute winner against OKC. Was that an important moment in your season? Absolutely.
I think other than getting the win, it was a time for the team to come together and show just how deep the character and the willingness to win and to gut it out goes. So I think it definitely set kind of the course for the team.
And talking about gutting it out, you've had a few 1-0 away wins, including on Thursday, you know, so it's not all been easy for you, has it?
No, absolutely not. It's a tough league, and going on the road is hard. Not the best travel conditions. It's just the nature of the league, and so you just got to find a way to win. It's not really, I think I said after the game, wasn't the prettiest soccer we've played, probably the ugliest game, but at the end of the day, it's finding a way to win, and that's what good teams do.
How important was it to have Anna Beffa back and have her for the rest of the season?
I mean, it was a nice surprise. We had been trying to get her cleared and didn't for a while, so we'd kind of given up on it, to be honest. But very timely. It's nice to get that kind of boost to your squad this time in the season. Also pretty seamless to put her back in the team since she played last year and most of the players know her.
Just finally, last game here at One Oak this season before you move to Titan next season. Any word for your fans and your supporters here?
Just thank you. I think it's just it's been a great experience to get to be in the stadium, and no matter how many show up, I think just taking that next step for women's soccer in our city has been important. And I mean, how can you not be happy playing in a stadium like this?
England or USA on the Tuesday?
USA, USA.
Thank you very much. I'm going for England. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Should I ask me about Sweden right now because I'm Swedish, remember?
Absolutely. How are you going to cope with that one in the game?
If you see me on my phone, you know what that is, yeah.
Thanks, Joe. All the best today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm joined by Ed Piskarich. Ed, you come in today, a beautiful day. How's your season been?
Rough. We've had a rough year this year for the girls. Just made a coaching change this past week. I'm the owner and director of the whole club, and I run the UPSL men's side. I ran the WPSL side for the last 7 years. So I took a little break away, but as you can see, I'm back. So, but it happens sometimes, and we move forward and progress. So,
how much do you know about Fortuna Tulsa?
It's one of the best franchises in the country. So, very professional. I've dealt with them for several years now. Tulsa had a franchise here years ago that was, quite honestly, it was an easy 3 points for us. Now it's a very difficult 3 points for anybody. Their standards are quite high. They've set the level from professionalism, which I'm absolutely pleased as punch about. So it's brilliant.
Last chance then for your girls to get something on the board. What's the spirit been like in the camp?
Good. Anytime you have a change, you got two options. You can decide to go down with the ship, or two, you can get a reinvigoration. That's what the girls have. We had a great game on Tuesday night against Oklahoma City, outside of a 98 equalizer from a horrific refereeing decision, but who's counting about that? We would have won the game, so we had a 1-1 draw there, and then we played against South Stars in a very good game on Wednesday. The next day, we lost that game as well too, but girls have a new spirit, so I'm expecting a nice performance today.
And I've been reading up about your club. Tell us a little bit about the mission of Texas Spurs.
Yeah, we're a small, family-oriented club. I dealt with big clubs for years, and I went back to a small club because kids need to be a name, not a number. And our motto is work hard, have fun. So we've got a European model with a men's and women's side that help top the pyramid. We have kids as young as 5 years old in the club, but we're not huge. We're small, and it's personal, and we're doing really well. Real happy with a little niche in Dallas right now.
And finally, you mentioned Europeans, so it's got to be England for the Women's World Cup, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to see England bow out at the semifinal stage, but it's going to be a good battle. But England, the female side, has done great the last couple of years, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So my Italians lost today to the Dutch, so now we get the U.S. against England. Should be a great match on Tuesday, I believe, right?
Yes.
So it should be fun.
Well, we appreciate you, Ed, for joining us today. All the best, my friend.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We'll be back with the starting lineups and more after the break. Well, there we are, high up here at One Oak on a beautiful Saturday morning, and I'm telling you, it's warm for the players down there. It's warm for us up here, Brittany, and we're in the shade. But it's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful time to be a Fortuna fan, because we've got to pay tribute. We heard from Yolanda there. You know, she means business today. She might have won the league, but there's 3 points out, and she wants to get them.
Yeah, your job's not done. You always want to win. You come out to win every single game. She's a competitor. She's here to compete.
She certainly is, and 6-0-1. It couldn't have got any better. Just the points dropped in that 2-2 draw, and in fact that was a great comeback in that game as well. And they're up against Texas Spurs, who have had a difficult season, as Ed was saying there in the interview. But you're going to expect some fight from any opposition here against Fortuna.
Yeah, every team in this conference is a really good side. They're here to compete. They want to win. They had a really close road game against Oklahoma City recently. Oklahoma City got a last-minute winner on them, or to draw it for them. But I think they're looking to upset Fortuna today.
Certainly are. Now let's have a look at the standings, and we can bring you up to date with why it is such a good time to be a Fortuna fan. There we go, 6-0-1. The points are just off there, but of course that equates to the 19 points. And last game today. So Brittany, we're assured that of two things really. Fortuna Tulsa will finish first, and South Star, congratulations to them, they will finish second, having completed all their games. So it'll be 1 and 2 from the north. And if you ask Yolanda Thomas, she would say that South Star were the best other team. Let's have a look at the Southern before we get a comment from you. Now, you can see up there 7, 1 and 2, 23 points. Means that AHFC Royals have finished. They're done with their regular season. But look below them, TTI Bluebonnets. They have 2 games left, and you would expect them, Brittany, to get at least a point, probably all 6 probably, to finish top of that division.
I mean, looking at the teams that they're playing with the remainder of their season, you would expect them to just at least get 1 point, if not get more than that. So I think that's a safe assumption that Royals are who Fortuna is going to be facing next weekend in the semifinals.
That's right, and we'll bring you more details about that, because the players are coming out onto the pitch now. Brittany, again, we talked about lineups, and you would have thought it might have been a day where some others might have been rested. I know there are a couple of names that we know that are going to be rested today.
Yeah, Ashton Gordon's out with a nose injury from a previous game, but Amanda Carino, Rachel Hummingbird, Maddie Tokarczyk is all getting a bit of a rest today. Well-deserved rest, but Yolanda Thomas going to her very deep bench to get some more sides in the fold today.
And we'll tell you more about the ladies in their blue shorts, white socks and white shirts. That's Texas Spurs right after this break, because we will take a short break now. We'll just have a sip of water, and we'll be right back with the kickoff right after this.
Gentlemen, this time I ask everyone to stand and remove their caps as we honor America and those who protect and defend our freedom with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, I'm say, can you see?
That's a lot better than they had the last game.
So the national anthem has been sung and we are getting ready for Texas Spurs in town against Fortuna Tulsa. Fortuna Tulsa in those blue shirts, blue socks and black shorts. Just before we go on with this one, it is 91 degrees on kickoff. We would expect, Brittany Scraper, that there would be some kind of a hydration break, we think, in both halves.
Yes, the referees prior to the match did speak to both coaches about having a hydration break. Obviously we saw it in the World Cup match earlier this morning. Very important for the players to get a little bit of a break, get a little hydration back. It's also very humid today, so that makes the conditions a lot worse. Talking of the World Cup, we've got an exciting game going on. Sweden against Germany in the fourth quarter-final now, isn't it? For a place to play against the Netherlands, who beat Italy by 2-0. So we'll keep up to date on that one. England and America safely through. Brittany are not speaking until after Tuesday. But it should be a great climax to the World Cup, and we're hoping it's going to be a great game here as well, of course. Pretty hot for the players though, isn't it? 91 degrees? Have you played in that kind of heat? Yes, and sadly much hotter. But yeah, being a player in this kind of heat and humidity, it definitely takes a toll. I don't think Fortuna has played in this hot of a game so far this season. They've had some evening games and stuff that have been a little bit warm, but it's a little bit different climate when you're playing in the evening. But you've got the hot sun beating down on them. We were on the field earlier. It's pretty hot down there on the pitch. And I guess, Brittany, to make things easier, you just got to play the ball to feet, haven't you? You don't want to be chasing 50 yards after the ball. This is definitely a game that you want the ball to do the work, that they want to receive open, move the ball around, let the ball do the work. It's not a game that you want to be chasing. So if I'm Yolanda Thomas, my game plan is today, let the ball do the work, look to play feet, look to play people in through the channels, get goals early. And we did allude to it with the interview with Yolanda Thomas, but what a blessing to have Anna Beffa back in your side. She only played on Thursday. Here she is again, and just we know from last season what a quality player she is, and she's playing professional soccer in Strasbourg in France. Yeah, she's an incredible player, one of the best players in my opinion to ever come out of Tulsa. But exciting to see her back. She got an assist the other night, so getting right back into the swing of things with Fortuna. She had an incredible season last year. She was kind of the captain and the face of Fortuna last season, so Fortuna having such a good season on this go, it's awesome to see her back. That's high praise indeed. One of the best players to come out of Tulsa. There's a lot of good players in the Fortuna side, but I get exactly what you mean. She is the complete player, isn't she? She is, and she works hard for it. She's continually working and training, working on her own, doing lots of skills, lots of fitness, everything to be that player that she is today, and it's definitely paying off for her. And of course you start from the goalkeeping position. Alexis Bach, who did extremely well on Thursday night,
Paige Hobart. I'm not sure that Fortuna got a substitute goalkeeper today. I'm sure one of the girls would go in if poor old Alexis got injured, but you know, she's been outstanding, and so's Paige Hobart. It's been great from the back forwards, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, they've both been called on to make good saves, and they've been there when Fortuna's needed them. And then that back line for Fortuna is just absolutely solid, and a lot like the U.S. side, very hard to get past.
So here we go then, in the last regular season game for Fortuna Tulsa and Texas Spurs. And immediately the ball is cleared away by the Spurs defence. And they have the ball in the midfield here in the heat, as we said. And in possession here on this near side is Danielle Caro. Is Smitherman though for the girls in blue from Tulsa, Fortuna Tulsa. There's Van Fossen wearing 99 at the back. Hasn't featured in every game by any means this season. Good to see her in a shirt here. Shiloh Price tries to play the ball down the left hand side, but across goes Morlock and clears the danger.
Shiloh Price has been a stud for Fortuna this season, and she has played in every match so far. So she's been one of Yolanda Thomas's regular starters.
Now here is Nikki Caranta, who's been given the number 9 duty today. She's just given the ball away there. This will be cleared away by Mortlock. And on the far side are the girls in white, Texas Spurs. Trying to fashion something out here, but good interception there from Kelsey Gordon. And here's Lauren Smitherman now, wearing 20. Just feeding the ball into Blankenship there. Taylor Mallon waits and receives the ball now wide, near side to us in our commentary position. Crosses the halfway line up to Caranta. Caranta will lay back to Blankenship. Good possession here from Fortuna early on. Long ball now through on the left hand side, looking for Beffa, didn't find her. Here's Mish Hooten, and now Mortlock. Good possession from the away side, who sit bottom of the league. Van Fossen will keep this one in and just have to play it out. Good start from Texas Spurs here, Brittany.
Yeah, definitely. They've done well controlling the ball, looking to connect some passes, and they've tested that left side of the Fortuna defense, trying to find a ball through, seeing what weaknesses they can try to exploit. Although with Fortuna, it's hard to find them. That's a good turn though. It's a good ball in the middle. Smitherman heading it out, almost cleared out. Gordon with the clearance.
And then Shiloh Price completes the clearance. But that just shows you, you know, you cannot just take any game lightly, can you?
Absolutely not. Especially in a conference like this, like I mentioned earlier. I mean, you have so many quality players playing in this league, and it's such a wonderful league to play in. Even though Texas Spurs has been unfortunate with some of their results, I mean, they're still competing. They're still working hard, and they're athletes at the highest level. I mean, they play in several like great college teams. I mean, so they're here to compete. They want to win. They're definitely not going to let Fortuna just get all the goals that I'm sure Fortuna wants to get today.
Here's Alexis Bach, who's rarely been beaten this season, clears the ball. You can hear a train in the background going through downtown Tulsa as Texas Spurs are from the right hand side, drive the ball into the box. Smitherman and Bach just have a little chat, and Alexis Bach says, I will collect that one. Yep. Under pressure from Messina.
Yeah, Texas Spurs finding a little bit of, I'm going to steal some of the commentators from the World Cup, a little joy on that right side. I've been listening to that. I like that. Finding some joy on that right side.
British or American commentator said that?
She did. That's why I'm proud of her. It is a very American thing to say, I suppose.
Here's Morlock. Back to the here and now. Dave Saunders and Brittany Scraper, your commentary team today, and we'll be next weekend. We'll give you some information later on in the half about what's going to go on next weekend, because Fortuna's season is far from done yet. Here's Smitherman. Can't quite find Blankenship down the right hand side. Caranta takes over. Mallon would just lay the ball back, gets a 1-2, then it goes back to Smitherman again. Smitherman left footed ball up to Price. Price cushion heads it down, but only into the path of a Texas Spurs player. There's a little 1-2 there, but back goes Cora Dunnock with those familiar sleeves rolled up, and I think she's won the throw-in as well. Yes, she has.
Yeah, Cora Dunnock working super hard on that side, man. She's a workhorse. She will sprint all the way up to get on the attack, and then likewise be all the way back to help defend and make a huge play like she did just then.
Throw in then from Dunnock, infield to Price, hooks it over her shoulder. Here's Anna Beffer, back from Strasbourg in France, playing professional soccer there. Just gets the ball out wide to Caranta, who's gone from central to left, drives the ball into the box. Malum looks to go central, headed away by Morlock. Hooton gets a little touch on there, and that's well played out in the end. And here's Messina for Texas Spurs, and she got pushed off there a little bit. No, says the referee. Not enough for a foul. Here's Taylor Malum. 3 goals and 3 assists this season. Van Vossen brings in Dunnock. Dunnock forward to Caranta. She can't get there. And Texas Spurs will just tidy things up with Morlock, who's seen a lot of ball at the back there.
She definitely has. She's done well with when she's had it. She's done a good job not panicking, staying very composed, and helping her team keep possession of the ball. Very important things that you want from your center back. Anna Beffer back on the ball. Good turn by Nikki Caranta. Ooh, tried to split him. Good defending there by Texas Spurs.
Hooton steps in, and here goes Caro down the left-hand side, the left back, white headband, threads the ball down here to Messina. Messina, little ball infield, that's a good one. Just a little bit of miscommunication perhaps between Van Vossen and Alexis Park.
Yeah, you don't see that happen very often, but it was a cheeky little early ball. I didn't think they expected that ball to slide through like it did.
So good start here from Texas Spurs. Just 7 minutes gone, 0-0 the score on a very hot morning, 91 degrees on kickoff. And of course in around about 15 minutes we'll be bringing you news from the Women's World Cup, the last quarter-final between Sweden and Germany. That's a good ball down the right-hand side. Van Vossen's across though, very strong. And those two just get in a little tete-a-tete, and it goes Fortuna's way.
I like that too.
Well, you wanted me to bring in the European kind of phrase.
I mean, I'll say joy, and you can say that. It balances it out.
Entertains the viewers.
That's what we're here for.
And thank you for your company here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And you can get in touch with the show today. We'll give you that Twitter handle. Here's Caranta now. Can she bear down on goal here and get a shot away? Lays it into Price. Price hits the back of Uko Peye. And now in the midfield is Kelsey Sheldon. Ball loose again. Here's Blankenship. Just laying the ball off here to Lauren Smitherman. Smitherman getting 3 bites of the cherry here. The Heritage Hall High School girl, University of Illinois. Lauren Smitherman, first season with Fortuna. Blankenship runs into a bit of trouble here. A little step over there, good little movement, but it's cut out by Smitherman. Here's Taylor Malum laying the ball back here to Alexis Bach.
Yeah, Texas Spurs showing some good signs of life here. Good movement, looking to take people on. Fortuna Tulsa doing a good job of holding their ground defensively.
Now here's Shiloh Price. 25 yards out, could try one. Into the area, round the defender easily. Cuts a beautiful ball, header, easy goal. Shiloh Price did all the hard work. She chips a ball into the 6-yard line, and there is now Fortuna Tulsa's top goal scorer. It's Taylor Malum with her 4th goal, the first one of the morning. 9 minutes gone, it's Fortuna 1, Texas Spurs 0.
Incredible stuff by Shiloh Price. We talked about it earlier. She's been a huge piece for Yolanda Thomas in this team and in this amazing season that they've had. But she does an incredible job of just having confidence, taking defenders on. She does an amazing job, just gets her head up, has all that composure, spots Taylor Malum out. Here she is, just extra little touch, gets her head up there, pops it right up where she knows Taylor Malum is going to finish that in the back of the net. Excellent stuff by Fortuna Tulsa.
If you're Taylor Malum, you couldn't have had that ball placed any more exactly, could you? I mean, it was just the perfect ball to you.
It was. It was very Taylor Malum of her.
It was.
We've talked about that. Taylor Malum having many great assists this season. Just getting her head up, having that composure, and you always love to get those balls back. It's very rewarding as a player to set those balls up for your teammates, but whenever you can get one back, it's awesome.
Fortuna Tulsa's 16th goal of the season. Malum has exactly a quarter of them. Here's Van Vossen just trying to shield the ball away. She does. It's going to be a goal kick, and just the perfect start when you're 6-0-1 and you don't want to lose your game. You want to go forward to the playoffs, Brittany, next weekend in good spirits, and that's a great early goal.
Yeah, I mean, Fortuna's had such a good season that they obviously are playing with a lot of confidence, as they should, but, you know, your last game going off into next weekend, you definitely want to have a good showing. You want to have a good performance. You want to put goals in the back of the net. You want to do what you've been doing all season long, and, you know, we see Fortuna opening up again with a good early goal.
Addie Guthrie there with the defensive header away. Here she is involved again, trying to battle and get the ball back. Anna Beffa's there as well, wearing 11. Hasn't been in the game too much, Anna Beffa, but she hasn't had the ball on that side, really. That's a good little turn, but just a bit too much there. She looks a tricky player to me, does the number 18, Messina.
Yeah, definitely. She's got some good skill. She doesn't seem to have a lot of players around her supporting. She's kind of gotten stuck out here on an island on this left side for Texas Spurs.
Yeah, they're playing a kind of a 4-1-4-1, or you might say a 4-2-3-1 on Texas Spurs, battling away from a goal down now. Here's Malum battling away. And in the end, Malum was pushing too much, says the referee. And that will be a free kick. Feel a bit sorry for the goalkeeper for Texas Spurs. She hasn't touched the ball yet, Chufo. Terry Noel Chufo. Just had to pick the ball out of the net, and it's not nice as a goalkeeper, is it? You want a nice easy one to catch.
Yeah, that is not what. Very, very hard to defend against that, though.
Yeah, she was beaten by a beautiful cross from Charlotte Price. All the work done by Charlotte Price, the assist.
Yeah, man, what an incredible season she's had.
Here's Caranta. Laying the ball back here to Blankenship. Guthrie has to avoid the challenge from the striker. Commander didn't get enough on that to feed it out there to Blankenship, and so back come Texas Spurs now with Kelsey Sheldon. Sheldon over the top. This is a good ball here to Messina, the dangerous Messina we've picked out, taking on Smitherman, who gets a foot in there, and Smitherman saves the ball from going out for a corner as well. Good defending.
Absolutely, and that's the small things. I mean, that shows you how engaged Fortuna is in playing well and being successful in this game, that, you know, she sacrifices her body a little bit just to make sure that she doesn't give up a corner there. So I think that's, you know, things that you could give Yolanda Autonomous a good shout for, that her team's competing on every level, even on the small things, which in the whole scheme of the game is huge. All the small things add up to the big things.
You're absolutely right. It is wanting to get everything, isn't it? Win everything. That was Morlock with the clearance. Here's Mish Houghton. Just ball running away from her. Beffa tidies up. Addie Guthrie now wearing 3. Lays it back here to Gordon. Gordon will come forward now and play a simple ball out to goal scorer Malum. Malum, first touch wasn't the best. Stolen away from her by Cairo. Cairo now will run down the left-hand side and plays it central. Ball's flicked on only as far as Anna Beffa, who can clear it up the left-hand side. And here's Shiloh Price, the assister for the goal. If you're just joining us on 7 minutes, means we have the current score of Fortuna 1, Texas Spurs 0. Here's Smitherman now. Her turn to have some trickery down this side. Here's Taylor Malum. Blankenship feeds it through to Price. Good step over from Price. Can she get another ball in? She chips it towards goal. She scores herself. Well, she just held off the defender Akopei, and Shiloh Price just clipped the ball over the keeper. And it's 2-0 to Fortuna Tulsa. Shiloh Price.
Shiloh Price having a great start to this game. It's great build-up play, starting with Smitherman from this right side. Fortuna doing a brilliant job of connecting their passes and moving off the ball. So you see a great ball here by Rachel Blankenship, beautifully through ball. And then Shiloh Price just kind of lets the ball run and do the work for her. And she sees the goalkeeper was cheating out a little bit. I think the goalkeeper was maybe anticipating another service like Shiloh Price did on the first goal. So the goalkeeper gets caught out just a little bit. Shiloh Price sees that. She gets her head up there, and then just a nice little chip finish to put it in the back of the net.
So a change for Texas Spurs. Amanda McCullum, formerly Amanda Pearson, goes off. And we'll see who's coming on into the central midfield. 2-0 the score. And as I look down, it's Jackie Annette Masomo who's come on in the midfield there, number 10. So 2-0. Couldn't have wished for a better start for Fortuna in what is in effect, a dead game. It's not going to make any difference to positions. But as we said, if you're Fortuna Tulsa, you just want to keep going forward to those playoffs next Saturday.
Definitely, Dave. You want to keep that momentum going. You want to keep that cohesion. I mean, from the last goal that we watched Fortuna just score, I mean, such a great build-up play from their right back coming forward, finding Rachel Blankenship, who's had a great season and great job distributing the ball all season long, and finding Shiloh Price, who is a huge playmaker for Fortuna Tulsa. So you definitely want to keep building on those things. We talked about it going into next weekend with all that confidence is huge.
Well, our friend Messina, who's had a pretty good first 16 minutes, is being withdrawn. I'm sensible from the coaches. It is a hot day, and I think, you use the whole squad.
It's definitely a day that you go to your bench and get those players circled in and out. I mean, even if they're off the field for 3 or 5 minutes, that still is a big difference in the overall scheme of things, just to give your body a little bit of a rest.
That's number 4, Kendall Perkey, who's come on up against Smitherman there. Here's Hooton battling away in the midfield. We'll tell you more about Mish Hooton in a minute. She's got an interesting story, the number 7 for Texas Spurs. But in the meantime, here's Fortuna Tulsa.
Taylor Malum and Anna Beffer switching sides. Taylor Malum on that left side now. Good cross in. Falls to Rachel Blankenship. She's thinking about having it.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get it down, could she? But good thinking from the former TU girl, Rachel Blankenship.
Yeah, didn't quite hit it as clean as she wanted, but good look there.
23-year-old Rachel Blankenship scored a great goal to bring it back at 2-2 against OKC way back in the first game. That really, I was saying to Yolanda Thomas, was quite a turning point in this. Well, not a turning point, it was early on. We'll just see this ball through here because Malum's onto it, so's the keeper. That's good goalkeeping.
Absolutely, yeah. She's got to decide to come quick off her line and have confidence, and she does well there. It was a great through ball by Nikki Carenta. Taylor Malum battling to try to get on the end of it, but good goalkeeping in the end there.
And just to finish my point, Blankenship scores that goal, 2-2, and then we get the Parker Goins famous assist, probably the best assist of the season for Taylor Malum to win it 3-2, and that really got them off, having been 2-1 down to win that 3-2.
It just gives you that confidence and belief that you know that you can rely on your teammates and that they're there for you. You're willing to dig in for each other, and that it pays off and you get those results. So it's just kind of like one of those catalyst games that just gives you that belief. It's kind of like you're down 2-1, and that 2-1 scoreline is very dangerous.
It's Boswell into the box, and there's a shot coming in, and a goal. Texas Spurs have got a goal back, and that's Kelsey Sheldon with the goal. It was palmed away by Alexis back, and no sooner have Tulsa got their second. Texas Spurs are back in this. It's Fortuna 2, Tulsa Spurs 1.
Yeah, I might have jinxed Fortuna talking about 2-1 scorelines being dangerous. Texas Spurs definitely agree with that. It was a great ball across, a lot of pace on it, and then Texas Spurs there, just a good collection there, good composed finish. But yeah, 2-1 scoreline is always dangerous. We were talking about that. It gives that team that belief of momentum. We saw it yesterday against the U.S. and France, how France just looked oppressed really really hard at the end of that game. So it just changes the dynamic of things. So it'll be interesting to see how Texas Spurs respond to getting that goal back if they'll start trying to press more numbers forward.
Kelsey Sheldon there, the goal scorer, 27 years old, went to NSU down there in Tahlequah. Had a very successful time there. An experienced player and an experienced goal. 2-1. One of the captains as well, Kelsey Sheldon. So 2-1, and they found goals hard to come by of Texas Spurs, so they'll be pleased having got that one. They've only, in fact, that's only their 6th goal of the season, and they've now conceded 28 with the 2 on total. So it's been a tough season, and Coach Ed did not shy away from that fact, but he said the spirit in the camp is still very, very good.
I think you can see that from their play. They're working hard. They're working hard to possess. They're trying to get numbers forward. I mean, obviously, you see them winning down on that right side. Like, they've had some good good possession and good build-up play from the right flank over there for them. And it was a good cross. It was a hard cross for her to try to handle there, and good composed finish. It's not easy to bring those bouncing balls down so well, so great job by Texas Spurs to get one back.
Yeah, it was a good cross from Boswell, the number 9 on the right-hand side there. Here she is in possession now, and she got round Cora Dunnett, got the cross in Alexis back, couldn't do much else but to palm it away. But it was an assured finish from Kelsey Easton. She still had a fair bit to do to put that one home.
Absolutely. Yeah, great stuff by Texas Spurs. Finding themselves on that right flank again against Fortuna.
Want to thank Dylan, pitch side on camera, and also Mo up alongside us here. Great shots they bring for us. Bring you the replays as well. Michael Blazik, the producer. Now here's Hooten coming in there. Didn't get hold of that one as she would have liked. Samo. Now the ball again to the dangerous Boswell, who put that cross in. Still has possession here. Came off Van Vossen. Another cross comes in. Volleyed away by Kelsey Gordon. Now Fortuna on the break here. Sierra Schwartz has come onto the field on that left-hand side, wearing 28. Ball going all the way through.
Yeah, and it looks like Rachel Carroll has come on this right side as well. So Yelena Thomas getting some subs in. I agree with that decision. It's a hot, steamy day in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Definitely go into her bench to get some fresh legs out there.
Here's Perky, who came on as a first half sub. Up to the goal scorer, Kelsey Eason. Now here in possession is Cairo. Across comes a defender and clears. Akopei now with the ball, wearing 6, looks up. Comes off Perkin, that will be a Rachel Carroll throw. No, excuse me, that's Roman Langer who's in there at right back. Here she is. Now there's Sierra Schwartz. Here's Carroll.
Rachel Carroll.
And did she get the ball eventually? Lots of subs, as we said, in this game, in this hot late morning. Coming up to 11:30 in downtown Tulsa. Beautiful place to play. You can see the construction in the background there, as well as the high-rise office buildings that are in the background. Home of the Tulsa Drillers and the Tulsa Roughnecks and Fortuna Tulsa. There's Roman Langer, who's a very versatile player. She's playing in the central midfield, can play right back, can play centre back. A real coach's dream, isn't she, Roman Langer?
Yeah, players that can play in any position and don't complain about it. They just come in, they do their job. Man, that is a coach's dream.
There's Sheldon, excuse me, who scored the goal. Kelsey Sheldon. Can Texas Spurs get back on level terms here? Good ball into the box. There's Blankenship from the penalty spot. They're headed away. Cora Dunnett gets some kind of a touch on it. Ball comes in again. Roman Langer is there again, trying to get the ball away. Here's Hooten then, driving the ball through. That's going to come off. Well, they won a corner and they've got a corner.
Oh, it looks like they said it's coming off of Haley Van Vossen there.
Yeah.
Just getting a touch, it looks like. Texas Spurs having a good bit of a play here.
Yeah.
Having some good opportunities, good crosses. winning this corner?
Well, we've all played in teams where it's been a struggle to get points on the board, but you've just got to keep going and getting the spirit there, and that's exactly what they've done. Fair play to them, credit. Also, they've got some supporters here as well, which is good.
Yeah, you never give up. You always, I'm sure the supporters help, but you never give up. You've always got to keep playing, and they were rewarded by the goal that they got.
And it's a great club. When you read about their club, as I have done, they've got many teams, and Coach Ed is also the manager of one of the men's teams there. It's a real youth setup, so they're going in the right direction with a great mission. Here's Schwartz laying it in, but that's easy for the goalkeeper, who is Terry Noel Chuffo. She clears left-footed, been beaten twice inside the first 20 minutes. 2-1 the score. Rachel Carroll lays it back to Smitherman. Smitherman now.
Ooh, that's a good ball by Smitherman. Ooh, even better first touch by Sierra Schwartz.
Yeah, can she turn? That's good defending, holding her up. She lays it off well here. And a good ball in from Roman Langer, tipped up into the air and onto the roof by Chuffo, and it will be a corner.
Good stuff on the other end by Fortuna Tulsa, winning their own corner. Looks like Texas Spurs making some substitutions.
I think as well, a quick mention, I think it's Ellie Chappell down there who's come on.
She snuck in.
Yeah, or is it Peyton Lee? We'll see. We're doing our best to bring you the numbers and the players.
We're very high and it's very bright outside.
It is. That's a good excuse. But we do. Might well be Peyton Lee who's come on there, wearing 16. They do switch their numbers a little bit, I think.
They do. That definitely has happened. They like to make it hard for us.
Ball cleared away by the goal scorer, Sheldon. There's an offside against Sierra Schwartz. And there will be, I think, the hydration break. So I'll tell you what it'll do. It'll give us a chance again to look at those standings. We'll have a look at the two standings. First of all, from the north, which is of course the league that these two play, and then they are Fortuna Tulsa there 6-0-1, South Star 4-3-1. So South Star have finished their 8 games. Fortuna Tulsa did beat them by 4-0. They will play against one of the teams from the first place team, I should say, which at the moment stands as AHFC Royals, but Brittany and I are expecting the TTI Blue Bonnets to get at least 2 points in their last 2 games and finish top, which would mean that it would be AHFC Royals for Fortuna, and then Coach Yolanda Thomas and the coach from the Blue Bonnets and the Royals, they'll be looking at doing their research on the other team, preparing for next weekend.
I'm sure that those coaches are scouting out this game right now. I mean, obviously it's broadcasted very well, so it gives them a really good perspective and to see how to break each team down. I know Yolanda Thomas, I'm sure, will be doing all of her homework this week, as good coaches do, preparing themselves, knowing what formation to play. I saw that yesterday with the U.S. and the France sides, kind of both changing up tactics in the way that they played up to match up against each other. So as all good coaches do, I'm sure Yolanda Thomas is going to have a brilliant game plan going into next weekend, as will the Texas teams.
And we'll give you a little taster of what's going to go on next weekend. There are 2 games on the Saturday. The kickoff times to be confirmed, but we think around about 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. with the final on Sunday. Of course, the World Cup final is 10 a.m. Oklahoma time, so the final, very sensibly, will be pushed to somewhere around about 3:30 p.m. So lots of soccer to be played both in the World Cup and, of course, here in Fortuna. There we go. Semi-finals, July 6th and 7th, Titan Sports Centre. Brittany, you'll be there with me.
Absolutely, wouldn't miss it.
It's going to be someday that day, and then of course the next day the World Cup final, and then the final of this.
What a weekend of soccer.
There you go. It just keeps on coming, doesn't it?
It does.
And the American men's team doing well in the Copa America, of course, qualified. So Tulsa Roughnecks tonight here, if you're looking for something to do tonight. 7:30 kickoff against Real Monarchs FC. Here is Perky forward but laid back by Van Vossen. I'm sure in a little break there, Coach Yolanda Thomas and Coach Ed would have been saying to their players, this is a very open game, you know, it's anybody's game, you've got to tighten up if you want to, both defences not to concede. Now this is talking about conceding. It's Malum through on the keeper now. Can she go round the keeper? Keeper comes out, makes an amazing challenge.
What a tackle. Oh my goodness, excellent stuff. Not a lot she can do there, but she does an incredible job. She gets the ball first. Well done on Taylor Malum's part, trying to beat the keeper, looking to just kind of cut around, but oh man, excellent stuff by the goalkeeper there. You do not want Taylor Malum coming at you 1v1.
No, and Chaffo did extremely well. Had to get it right because it could have been ended up very poorly on the goalkeeper.
If she comes in a little bit late, I mean that could be a red card if she doesn't time that tackle perfectly, but she did. So excellent stuff right there.
Now here in the midfield is Blankenship. Lays it to the near side to Rachel Carroll. Her first touch wasn't the best, and it's given away for Caro here. Caro goes past Smitherman as well. Carroll, to be fair, is getting back. And there she is getting a challenger, and indeed she wins it back. And that's the small things that Brittany was talking about earlier on.
Definitely small things. You're not always going to have the perfect first touch. It's going to happen. You have missed touches, but you know she doesn't stop. She doesn't hesitate. She hustles all the way back and then wins the ball back for her team. Little things like that add up to the big things in games. Looks like Haley Van Vossen's going to take her time on this free kick. I don't blame her. It's a little steamy outside. Let everybody get up.
Here she is, the number 99. Right-footed, boots it forward into the area. That's a lovely dropping ball there. But cleared away by the girls in white today, Texas Spurs. That's a good piece of play by Masamo. One back by Blankenship, who will lay it back here to Van Vossen. Van Vossen now coming forward. Plays it wide. Haley Van Vossen, originally from Broken Arrow, went to Union High School. And of course plays alongside Parker Goings and the like at the University of Arkansas. And some more substitutions to tell you about. Blankenship comes off.
Shannon Price comes off. Looks like Anna Beffer is coming in the middle of the park.
Yeah, along with Addie Guthrie, I think, who's come back on. So Beffer and Guthrie, you're absolutely right. And then we look to see that's
Reagan Whitlow looks like checking into the match.
Yeah. So she's gone into kind of a deep midfield role. Rachel Carroll up front, Sierra Schwartz as well. Taylor Malum still on there on the left-hand side. I'm sure they'll be thinking at some stage of Taylor Malum being rested for next weekend.
Yeah, she's had a lot of the ball so far in this first half.
And Pay there.
Good first touch there.
And here, seeing a lot of the ball is Caro. Up to Perky. And the goal scorer, Kelsey Sheldon, just can't keep that one in. 2-1 the score. Beautiful still morning, quite stifling for everybody, but everybody's enjoying what they've seen so far from both teams.
It has been a very good game. I mean, like you said earlier, Dave, the game is pretty open, which is exciting to watch from a fan standpoint. It's you know, end to end, more exciting. But yeah, both sides working really hard in this heat.
Fortuna Tulsa have beaten Oklahoma City 3-2, South Star 1-0 and 4-0. Texas Spurs, they won 2-1 down in Texas, and then FC Dallas by 2-0, and last Thursday by 1-0 in a fairly ugly game that was described by Yolanda Thomas. They had to fight for the points, and they came away with the points, and that was the important statistic.
A win's a win.
4 clean sheets. They won't add to that today, of course, because they have conceded, and the only points dropped to 2-2 draw down in Oklahoma City. Currently first on 19 points. Here they are in possession again. Malum. Inside here to Beffer. Anna Beffer now striding forward, tries a left-footed shot. Down goes the keeper, taps it, and then Carroll's in there as well. Good save from the keeper, good defending, and Rachel Carroll just inches away from getting that one, tapping into an empty net. Good save though from Chuffo.
It was good stuff by Anna Beffer. She looks up to have one. She hits it really well. Rachel Carroll just kind of falls to her, but good defending from Texas Spurs to be ready to pounce on it and clear the danger.
Corner then on the far side. A whole host of players all grouped together inside the 6-yard box. Now they break away. Where's the ball going to come? It's going to come back here to Beffer. Beffer will go to the left-hand side. Lovely threaded ball through. They wanted an offside, but there wasn't one coming. And so it will be...
a host of substitutions coming in for Texas Spurs over there.
Yes, indeed.
And Fortuna Tulsa making a sub as well.
Yep. It's Kelsey Gordon coming off, the number 23. So Van Fossen will have a new central defensive partner, and I think it'll be Roman Langer there, who's can play there, although Cora Dunnock, I think, has just gone into centre-back. So shuffling, I know coaches do this in a game that's ineffectively, doesn't affect anything. You try players out in different positions just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know. You could surprise yourself by how well a player does in a certain role that you didn't necessarily think that they would fit in well, but it's always about kind of moving those puzzle pieces around, seeing what connects, seeing what players play better with each other. And when you have so many amazing players at Ilana Tama's disposal, you definitely want to be able to move those players around and see how well they do with each other.
Another couple of subs coming in. I remember back in England with a professional club called Exeter City, which is actually my hometown, and very, very forward-thinking manager, Paul Tisdale. We'll come back to him in just a moment because Fortuna are just trying to fashion out some more opportunities here. And one time he was late on in the game. Here's Roman Langer chipping the ball over the top to the left-hand side. There's an offside. And the centre-back, who's now actually the manager of Exeter City, he went up front and everybody thought, what's going on? And it was in effect a dead game. And then what happened was in the playoffs, sure enough, with 15-20 minutes to go, there was the formation change and there was the centre-back playing at centre-forward. So they'd rehearsed it, and I think it's very, very important the coaches do that and use those times, because you don't get many of those times.
You don't. I mean, and you do it in the training ground, you do it in scrimmages and things like that, but in a game setting it's different. When you're playing against that different opposition, looks like Sarah Schwartz getting fouled there, but it's a different atmosphere, it's a different environment, so you definitely want to be able to make those changes, and it is like a good dress rehearsal. You want to kind of run through things and see how players play. So yeah, it's awesome that Fortuna has gotten themselves in the position that they've done so well in their other games that they have the opportunity to do it in a game like this.
There's Whitlow driving towards goal. Down goes Chuffo and catches that one. She'll be pleased to have caught that one.
Yeah, she's had to work hard this game. Fortuna's really tested her butt. Man, Chuffo's come up big on some excellent saves for Texas Spurs.
Yeah, she's kept her mind on the game and keeps it at 2-1. Here's the throw down the left-hand side. Tristan Edgar gets that one. And now another throw. Ball going back here to Akopei. And Texas Spurs building now down the right-hand side. There's the dangerous Boswell who put the throw in for the cross. Boswell now into the area. Dangerous here. Still got the ball, and in the end away by Reagan Whitlow. And here's Beffer. Long ball now to the left-hand side. And they can't get on it.
Yeah, just a little too far, a little overplayed, but Texas Spurs doing a great job, again, finding some joy on that right side, doing well, but Fortuna's defense holding their shape very well, being composed in the back, waiting for Texas Spurs to kind of show the ball a little bit too much and then winning it back. So we've seen it time and time again, that Fortuna back line being tested and them holding their shape very well.
Coming up to 6 minutes to go then till half time. 2-1 the score. Fortuna Tulsa got off to a pretty much of a flyer. 7 minutes, Malum assisted by Price, and then Price herself scored the second, but then 4 minutes later, inside a frantic 20 minutes, Sheldon gets a goal back for Texas Spurs.
Yeah, and then since then the game has kind of settled down. Neither side has had any really good looks at goal.
And I think the heat is playing a factor.
I think it is too. Both coaches doing a great job of getting subs in and out of the match. Obviously, we had the hydration break, which helps as well. But you know, you're still running out there, you're still playing. The sun is really hot. It is very hot down there on that pitch. Like I said, we were down there earlier. I mean, the temperature is it's 92 now. I'm sure down there it's probably got to feel at least like 100. And if you've played soccer in 100-degree weather, you know what that's like. It is very difficult.
Here's Chuffo, who'll be pleased to get the ball here and punt it down the field. Brought down beautifully by Beffer inside the 6-yard box, and then stabs the ball out to the left-hand side. There's a ball down that left-hand side, but in comes Chuffo again. And Brittany's got a latest score from the World Cup for us.
Looks like Germany is up 1-0 on Sweden in the 18th minute.
And that will not please Coach Yolanda Thomas.
No, she was very excited for Sweden to take on the German side today.
That's a good ball through, but Cora Dunnock is back there. And it's cleared away by Alexis Bach. Dunnock again is quicker to the ball, those little things. And in fact, we've got one of the Texas players who's says she needs a substitute. Was there a handball? No, says the referee. Dunnock again. Here's Tristan Edgar. Annie Guthrie was taken out late there, and I think we've got an injury to Amanda McCullen Pearson. Shame for her. She's somebody that they know well. She's returning for her 5th year in a row with the Texas Spurs. In the 2017 season, Pearson had a small break in her playing career. She welcomed her first child, Annika, into the world. She was back on the pitch by the 2018 season and is looking forward to continuing to play this season, although she's got an injury here. Pearson played in the North Dallas area growing up and started her career with this great club as a youth. And she finished her club career with Texas Spurs. Went on to play soccer and tennis at St Mary's University, where she received a bachelor degree in marketing. Unfortunately, she's having to leave the field, possibly a pull. It was, you could see straight away she needed some attention. That's a good header on. Out comes the keeper over her head. Is it going to be 3? Nobody can get on the end of it. Well, there's all smiles all over the place. Beffer couldn't get on the end of it. The keeper misjudged it. And somehow Brittany it all ends up with a goal kick.
Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. It's a good ball in. Very great flick on by Sierra Schwartz just to kind of flick it onto the danger area. But yeah, the ball up in the air like that, it's a sunny day. It's easy to kind of lose track of it. I think that maybe that's what happened to the goalkeeper. The sun's a bit in her eyes on that side. And then Anna Beffer trying to judge it. Looks like she just kind of gets a little off balance, but pretty exciting stuff there, closing out this second half, or this first half, as looks like Ashlyn Kitterman's coming on this right back side.
Yeah, Kitterman played more last season, I think. That's a scuffed goal kick.
Yeah, she was a staple on that that right outside back spot. She's been traveling a little bit this summer with family, so obviously family time is very important. But good to see her back in this side today.
Indeed it is. Family most important. And they created a really good family here in Tulsa, Fortuna Tulsa, building on a very good, successful first season, and now going to the playoffs in the second. Hooten trying to get forward there. Ball over the top, looking for Sheldon, but away it goes by Van Vossen. Lots of substitutions to tell you about. Here's another one. And we're going to see the Messina, who's been on twice now. She's coming off, and back will come Masomo. Annette Jackie Masomo comes into the central midfield, or perhaps she'll go on the left actually. Tristan Edgar's been pushed up front with Sierra Schwartz by Yolanda Thomas. 2-1 the score. Thank you for your company here as the ball comes in from Texas Spurs. And here is Masomo. She'll lay it back here. And there's a shot driven in, but away by the Fortuna defence. Addie Guthrie trying to battle away there. So is Whitler. There's a shot coming in which is wide of the target from Kelsey Sheldon. But this game far from over, Brittany Scraper.
Yeah, I mean, I was just noticing, you can see how hard both sides are battling to win that ball. I mean, they're challenging, they're working hard, they're sprinting to try to get all those 50-50 balls there. I mean, you're approaching the 45th minute of this very, very hot, steamy day. I mean, you see both sides working that hard, and it really shows you how much they want this win. Even though Fortuna, you know, we've already talked about, has clinched their division, getting ready for next weekend. But Texas Spurs, again, showing a lot of life on this right side, working hard to try to create another goal. Cleared back off the line.
Yeah, cleared away. Back come Texas Spurs in stoppage time. There's 2 minutes to be added on the end of this first half as Alexis Back, who's been beaten once in this first half, gets her hands on the ball, and she will be able to clear up towards somewhere near halfway. Back from Louisville, New York, University of Arkansas again, playing with the likes of Parker Goins and Van Fossen.
Finally getting a slight little breeze. That's nice.
You can notice that everybody's sat back in the shade, though, can't you? In the bleachers here at One Oak.
Very smart decision. It's definitely quite a bit cooler in the shade than being out in the sun this afternoon.
All threaded forward. Bounces once. In goes Kitterman. Does well. Tidies up. Gives it to Edgar. Edgar to Addie Guthrie. Guthrie will switch play, trying to bring in the far side there, Sierra Schwartz. And in the end, the referee says there was pushing. And there will be another substitution. And back will come Cairo into the fray. She started off this game at left back, Danielle Cairo.
Yeah, she's had a good game for Texas Spurs on this side. She's done well. She's worked hard. She's completed a lot of great passes, helping Texas Spurs keep possession.
"25-year-old Danielle Cairo, wearing 20. So we're just at the dying embers of this first half. The players will certainly want a drink, and there in fact goes the half-time whistle, and it's been a fairly competent half. Brittany Scraper, with Fortuna going in narrowly in front by 2-1, but I'll say again, this game's far from over.
It is. I mean, and credit to the Texas Spurs side for not giving up, continuing to press, continuing to work hard. I mean, they've worked hard on that right side, created a lot of opportunities. I mean, they deserved that goal. They certainly got a lot of service from that right flank. I mean, going in, I think you saw Fortuna with a bit better of the play, but as the game wore on, I mean, I think we saw the ball in the middle of the park kind of becoming like a midfield battle. Fortuna getting less and less chances going forward, and then possibly the Heat starting to kind of play a little bit of a factor. You saw a little bit more safe play, maybe not trying to like press and go as high, play those dangerous balls forward, but very impressed by the Texas Spurs side, and Fortuna Tulsa doing what they do. I mean, creating those chances. Shiloh Price, obviously the bright spot coming off this first half, and then Fortuna Tulsa doing a good job keeping their shape defensively, minus getting that one goal in, but I'm sure both sides will be very happy to get in the shade and take a quick rest.
Yeah, they are all going to the locker room very sensibly. We will take a short break and we'll get together the first half highlights. So back after this short break. Welcome back in here to One Oak. It's 92 degrees. Everybody's sweating a little bit because such is the power of the sun here in downtown Tulsa. There's Dave Saunders and Brittany Scraper bringing you the commentary today. And Brittany, we've seen a very entertaining game. And, you know, you wouldn't have thought if you're a neutral walking in now that one team's top unbeaten and one team's only got 1 point on the season.
Yeah, it's been a very competitive match so far. I mean, both sides working hard. We've talked about the heat being a factor, but Texas Spurs doing a great job working very hard defensively, being able to move the ball around and create chances for themselves, and then getting one back, creating that, you know, dangerous 2-1 score line that we've talked about.
Well, let's go and have a look at the highlights of the first half, and it all really happened inside the first 20 minutes. We got off to quite a flyer. Sometimes it happens in a game of soccer, and here is the first goal.
Yeah, Shiloh Price on the ball again, being confident, just trying to change her speed, does a great job getting her head up and just purposely popping that ball up across to Taylor Malum, who does a brilliant job just getting her head on and finishes. And goalkeeper beat by this cross here. Not a lot she can do. We talked about she's had a great first half for Texas Spurs, but Shiloh Price doing all the work there, making it easier for Taylor Malum to have a great finish.
1-0 it was then on 7 minutes. 8 minutes later on 15 minutes, Shiloh Price.
Rachel Blankenship playing a wonderfully weighted through ball there to Shiloh Price, who just kind of lets the ball run, does the work for her, does a little, you know, body fake. It's those subtle things that make a difference. She sees the goalkeeper's out a little bit and then gets her head up, has a nice finish.
And then 2-0, you thought this could be floodgates time, but here's Boswell's cross, palmed away by back. Good finish here.
Yeah, and great job to bring that down. That's not easy. So we talked about Texas Spurs several times having a lot of space and a lot of opportunities to get things on that right side for them on Fortuna's left side. And it's a great cross by Boswell. I mean, not a lot you can do there, and then beautifully brought down. Good finish by Texas Spurs, creating that 2-1 scoreline.
Yeah, Kelsey Sheldon with the goal scorer there, experienced player, and she did well to score. And then really it was from then on another 25 minutes of each team going at each other. There were more chances. There was some good goalkeeping, which has kept it at 2-1. And really, Brittany, finally, before we go for a longer break here, you know, it's a difficult game to predict, this one, isn't it?
It is. I mean, as the game started, you saw Fortuna have more of the play. They had more possession. It was in the Texas Spurs defensive third for a good bit of that first 15 minutes or so. But then you see Texas Spurs getting that goal back. I think it kind of gave them a lot more life. You know, you get that belief behind you. They're working hard. And then I think it was just kind of a battle in the middle of the park for the rest of the game. Neither side could really quite get everything going that they wanted to. I mean, there were some good opportunities created, but, you know, good saves from both goalkeepers being tested a couple times. And it'll be interesting to see what coaching decisions are made at halftime. You know, we saw, you know, Fortuna Tulsa, you know, kind of shuffling some players around, playing in maybe different positions than they have. Texas Spurs obviously making several substitutions, trying to keep them fresh. So it'll be interesting to see the coaching decisions that come out in the second half.
It certainly will. We can't wait to bring you the second half, but a few minutes break now, and we'll be back with that second half with the score here at halftime. Fortuna Tulsa 2, Texas Spurs 1. Welcome back in here to sunny One Oak. We've got plenty going on. The World Cup going on, of course. The last quarter-final, 1-1, the last we heard between Sweden and Germany. That's for the place in the semi-final. We played the Netherlands, and of course next Tuesday, let's just talk about that for a minute, Brittany. Honestly, it's a semi-final of a World Cup. It could go either way, but what are your thoughts going into that one? The USA, of course, versus England.
You know, honestly, yesterday I was a little concerned. I didn't think the U.S. would be able to beat France. I don't like saying that. I wanted the U.S. to win. Whenever they scored the goals, I was jumping around my living room like a crazy person. But I think England, as this World Cup has progressed, has proven that there's something to be thought of as a contender. I mean, I think Bronze is a phenomenal player. I mean, Ellen White is obviously on point with all of her goals and miraculous goal celebrations. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think Jill Ellis, I was a little critical of some of the way that they played against Spain. So going into watching them play France, she did a good job with her coaching decisions. So I think England's definitely a different animal. So I think it'll be interesting to see what those coaches do, what the game plan is coming out. But man, I think it's going to be a battle.
It's going to be a hot game, isn't it? And what I would like to say is that Phil Neville, the former Manchester United player, of course, is now the England coach for women. He admires Jill Scott and the American players and the confidence that they have. And he said, we've actually taken from that. We've actually looked at the way that they go about things and the way that they just want to win so badly, and he said they've really taken that on board. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, maybe the fashionable against the unfashionable, who knows, but certainly Megan Rapinoe is on fire, and you know, the goalkeeper's good, the back four's good. The States are hardly conceding a goal. There's one conceded against France, but it's such a close game to call. It is the semi-final after all.
Yeah, World Cup semi-final. I think it just shows, and the exciting thing, how far women's soccer has come. So I think we look at previous World Cups. You know, you have maybe 3 main contenders. You're like, all right, you know, the U.S. and Japan and Germany. Those were the 3 teams that we're looking for to win. But you can't really say that this World Cup. There's so many good teams. I mean, even though Italy lost earlier against the Netherlands, I mean, teams like Italy, who previously have struggled in World Cups, are coming out and making the quarterfinals challenging. I mean, it just shows how far women's soccer's come. And U.S. has kind of been the spearhead country that I think has kind of, you know, you have the 99ers who did so much for women's soccer. And for me, I mean, I feel like I'm here because of them. I mean, the passion and the excitement, you know, that they created. But now you see the other countries investing in their women's programs, investing in it. You know, Norway are getting paid the same as their men's players. That was a huge thing before the World Cup started. So a lot of things coming and changing in women's soccer. So man, it's just such an exciting time to really see all this kind of come in fruition. And I think it's just going to make the semifinal round of this World Cup be just incredibly exciting.
It is. We're hoping for an exciting second half here as well. Just to say that if you are thinking, well, I want to watch the World Cup final because it's going to feature either England or the USA in it, it is actually 10 o'clock in the morning a week from tomorrow, I should say, Oklahoma time. So you will not miss the final of this North v South contest in this league. That will be around about 3:30 in the afternoon. So everybody would have watched the World Cup final. The World Cup champions will be crowned, and then they will crown the Red River Valley champions. Now, numerous changes to tell you about as the game goes on. But what we do know is that Fortuna were 2-0 up. Texas Spurs have pegged it back to 2-1. We're in for a good second half. Looking at the back four here for Fortuna Tulsa just down below us. Cora Dunnock has come to left back. Lauren Smitherman at right back. Roman Langer, that versatile player, she can play pretty much anywhere. She's alongside Haley Van Vossen at the centre, Kelsey Gordon at the centre of the defence. Haley Van Vossen is actually off the field at the moment. Charlotte Price is back on. Nikki Caranta, Hannah Beffer. And here's Rachel Blankenship with the ball, scooping it forward, looking for Price. There's Sheldon. Smitherman now in the right back position. Plays it infield here to Addy Guthrie. Addy Guthrie, scorer of one of the 4 goals against South Star here a few weeks ago with a stooping header. Here's Shiloh Price, who's already on target today, and an assist for the other one. Drives the ball in, down goes the keeper, who's had a pretty good game, and gathers that one.
She has, yeah. She's come up huge for Texas Spurs. Could definitely be a very different score line without some great work and great efforts from her.
Here's Masomo heading it forward, but that's going to be to no one apart from Alexis Bach, who is in the all lime green kit, and she, without picking up, will drive it forward into the South Star half. Shiloh Price back to Blankenship. Here's Beffa now inside the box, but she is offside as another train rolls into downtown Tulsa.
It's a very popular track over there. There's always trains running through there.
It is. I was here for the drillers with my family, and we were waiting for the fireworks to go, and the longest train in history decided to come in.
Yes,
so
I've been stuck behind that same longest train in history.
And they couldn't start the fireworks until but they found a way, as they always do, the drillers, of entertaining the crowd. Fantastic. If you ever never been to a drillers baseball game, please come down here to One Oak and see that.
Oh yeah, they do an amazing job.
Here is Kelsey Gordon under pressure from two Texas Spurs players. Smitherman chips it forward, but it's going to be out for a throw-in to be taken by Danielle Caro. We'll keep you up to date with the World Cup score. 1-1 the last we heard between Sweden and Germany. One Yolanda Thomas, coach of Fortuna Tulsa, with a Swedish bias in that one.
I'm sure she would love to see a US-Sweden final.
There you go. Good build up here from the Spurs. Here's Mish Hooten. Tries to find Masama. Masama there with Smitherman. That was a strong challenge from both of those two. Masama it is who holds off Smitherman. Chance here coming in. Shot just over the bar. Coming in from Kennedy Kessler.
Yeah, promising stuff here by Texas Spurs. Getting a good run of possession, moving the ball around, creating that shot on goal. A little over goal, but good stuff coming out early. That's definitely what Texas Spurs want to do, is keep pressing Fortuna, keep pressing that, and also keeps Fortuna further back. Fortuna likes to get high, press all those numbers forward, lock those teams are playing against in their defensive third. But when you have a team that's continually depressing, keeping possession, it's hard to do that, as Texas Spurs is doing here.
A shot from a very long way out. It was 30 yards out from the goal scorer today, Kelsey Sheldon.
Hey, you never know when you're going to catch a Wayne Rooney.
That was an amazing goal. If anybody's not seen that one.
That was incredible. Definitely go look it up.
From his own half.
He was. Man, Wayne Rooney's a special player.
And if you want to see a very, very, very young David Beckham do the same thing, it was at a place called Wimbledon in South London for Manchester United. He did exactly the same. Look that one up on YouTube. A very young David Beckham, who I might add was at the quarter-final cheering on the Lionesses for England.
He was.
With his daughter.
He was. His daughter Harper. I'm partial in that name. My daughter's name is Harper.
There you go. Here's Cora Dunnock. Beffa now wearing 11. Just slides it infield here to Addy Guthrie now. Hasn't been quite the possession that they would have liked to have enjoyed today, but they're enjoying a little bit more now. Here's Smitherman. Slight shade over the field at the moment.
I'm sure the players are enjoying that.
Blankenship's battling his way, but it's going to go here to Roman Langer, who's just come away from her central defensive berth. Now goes on a little run, goes past two, and then in the end it's going to be a throw-in, and the referee says it will be a throw-in to Roman Langer's Fortuna Tulsa. 2-1 the score. Thanks for your company here. We've had a few tweets come in. Our producer Michael Blazek does look through many of them, and if you would like to have your tweet put up on the screen, we'd love to hear from you. Who's going to win the World Cup? Will it be England? Can't find many England fans around here.
I think we're a little biased to the U.S. here, Dave.
No, it's going to be a great game.
It will be. I'm very excited. I'm going to get my face paint out for that game.
The red, white and blue.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, just red and white for England with the flag of St George, not to be confused with the Union Jack, which has the blue of Scotland in it. Now there's Masomo. Good ball into the box. Oh, and there's a bit of a bash on the head there, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Cora Dunnick, in her efforts to try to hit it clear, just gets the back of the Texas Spurs player.
Yeah, it's Bronwyn Boswell. She of the wonderful cross in the first half, which led to the goal. Sensible refereeing. Stopping the game because of head injury. Bounces the ball. And Alexis back will get us going. And both girls are okay. I don't think Cora Dunnick felt that too much. That one is driven out. Cora Dunnick, of course, from Liberty University. Back in her second season. And we're all looking for a ball.
Oh, found one.
Yeah, here comes a ball to get us going. 4-hour trip back for the Texas Spurs girls, talking to their coaches before the game. Some of them had to come up this morning due to work commitments, such is the life of a WPSL soccer player. Some of them came up and stayed in a nice hotel overnight.
It's all about a balance.
Yeah. Here's Mish Hooton. I want to tell you her story again in a moment. In the midfield, just doing the unsung hero work. Here she is again, one of the captains.
Well done by Smitherman there.
Smitherman has won that one off Masamo. He likes a physical challenge, does Masamo. Here is Nikki Caranta. Shadow Price just caught on her heels a little bit there. And in fact, in the end, fouls. So it's going to be a free kick. That was the foul on Kennedy Kessler. Free kick to be taken by Texas Spurs here as they look to get back on level terms with 52 minutes gone in this second half. Thanks for your company here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Dave Saunders and Brittany Scraper bringing you the commentary, as we will be next weekend for those 3 mouth-watering games. The 2 semi-finals on the Saturday, around about 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then we will bring you the final sometime on Sunday afternoon. Texas Spurs enjoying a lot of the possession here. Probing, looking for the equaliser. Boswell feeding it through to Hooton here in a bit of space. Chips it forward, that's offside. Masamo is a long way offside. Alexis Back did well.
Yeah, Texas Spurs doing a great job of moving the ball around, but Fortuna Tulsa doing a good job of holding their line defensively. It took Texas Spurs just a little bit too long to develop that final ball, and then you see Cora Dunnick noticing that, kind of pops back and pulls them offside. So very smart defending by that back line of Fortuna Tulsa.
Headed away, back come Texas Spurs again. Boswell, Kessler, Boswell again. Looking for Masamo. Here's Smitherman with Masamo, and Masamo's got an arm over.
Those two have been battling over there on that side in the second half.
Certainly have. Annette Jackie Masamo, who played, she didn't start the game, she came on in central midfield. Now she's playing a much more forward role in a kind of a 4-4-2. But it's been hard going against the Fortuna defence, who've only conceded 5 goals this season, 6 now after today. Alexis Back clearing the ball, headed back by Spurs, who've really got nothing to play for. They have just got the single point, bottom of the league. They certainly acquitted themselves well here today. That's a good ball, cut out well by Kelsey Gordon. There's a bit of a challenge there from Masamo and Gordon. Payee. Long ball forward from Morlock. And Back will go Ukopei in those red boots. Good possession. You've got to be impressed with the bottom side, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. They've done a great job of moving the ball around. I don't think Fortuna Tulsa is pressing as hard as we've seen them in the past. I think partially because maybe they're playing a little bit more conservative. They're trying to conserve some energy. It's hot. You know, there's lots of reasons. But it is allowing Texas Spurs to do a good job of moving the ball around.
That's a good ball over the top. Looking for Anna Beffa. Back goes the defender. Defends extremely well. Ball loose. Here's Belicia Mendolia, the number 22. Shut down by Shiloh Price. Mendolia wants to come out of there. Oh, and gets taken out by Shiloh Price. Got to be a little bit careful. A couple of fouls from Shiloh Price now.
Yeah, she's a gamer. She's gonna work hard. She wants to win that ball. I mean, I think she was going for the ball there, but she's just a little bit late and catches the back of her heel there.
Yeah, it was Mendiola who's the unfortunate recipient there of the kind of hack from behind. Very few yellow cards I've seen in the WPSL.
There have not been many. I think most of the games I've stayed. Referees have done a great job of keeping the games under control. You know, fouls like that quickly getting called, so you don't have anything really building up, any bad retaliation, things like that.
Beautiful shot from our sideline camera there, operated by Dylan. Just giving you some idea of the heat as well down there. Now here is Hooton just scooping it forward there, only as far as Blankenship. Now Caranta. Caranta has just dispossessed the defender here. Lays it off to Beffa. Now has Beffa got something special up her sleeve here? Chips it forward, looking for the little run of Taylor Mallon, but out comes Chuffo. And in the midfield, Texas Spurs have the ball again with Ukopei. She'll go back to Chuffo here. Mendiola. Up to the feet of Kessler. Kessler laying it off again to Boswell, as they have done several times. Mish Hooton now.
She's done well in the middle there, Mish Hooton, of keeping possession, just kind of helping spread the ball across the field. It's helped a lot in Texas Spurs possession here in the second half, which they've had a good bit of it.
Yeah, Mish Hooton started playing soccer at the age of 4 because she wanted to do everything her older brothers did. She went on to play college soccer for Texas A&M and graduated with a degree in sports management. In 2018, Hooton played her first season with the Texas Spurs team here, bringing experience, vision and a high work rate on the field. She's also been coaching at the club level, and she is 40 years old.
Wow, that's
well
impressive. Yeah, man, you would not know that from the way that she's playing today.
Going to be a throw in here. Yeah, really important player in the cause.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can definitely see her vision and experience, just being able to move the ball around, seeing passes, and having good composure on the ball to kind of waiting till those passes are more on, waiting for defensive players to shift around. It's those little skills that take a lot of time in the game to develop, just those little subtle nuances.
Charlotte Price now deep in her own half. Forward now. Will it fall to Anna Beffa here? Anna Beffa's nutmegged the defender. She can't beat her twice though.
Anna Beffa had a couple nutmegs today so far.
Dunnett trying to win it back, and then she's gone in the back of the player there. And that's going to be treatment needed for Boswell. I think Cora Dunnett just got the wrong side of the player there, but no foul by the referee.
Yeah, I think he decided that Cora Dunnick's trying to go for the ball there. They just kind of unfortunately collide a little bit. Gets a bit of her. But I'm sure it'll be a happy break for everyone on the field, as the heat index has gotten up to 105. on the field.
That is, yeah, it's not just about the sun. I was taught this very early on when I came to Oklahoma. It's more about the heat index, isn't it?
Yeah, Oklahoma, you got to add all that humidity in there. I mean, it's a different kind of animal.
Yeah. Now here's Cora Dunnett with those sleeves rolled up. Annie Guthrie. A little bit of loose. She apologises there to Langer. Langer will just scoop it further towards the right hand side to Smitherman, but Masama's very hard working and physical.
She is not going to make it easier for Smitherman on that side.
That's a good ball from right to left. Beffa to Charlotte Price. Charlotte Price across goal, saved by the keeper's legs. Malum still in there creating a nuisance of herself. Here's Beffa. In steps Boswell, and away go Texas Spurs and clear the danger.
Yeah, well done by Texas Spurs, holding their shape, being able to get the ball clear. Good build-up play by Fortuna Tulsa. We haven't seen that in the last little bit. They've been struggling to kind of connect passes, just like there, just not finding that final ball through, because Texas Spurs has had a lot of possession here in this second half.
Certainly have. Here's Kessler doing just that. Dunnett steps in with their brave header. Charlotte Price now on halfway, looking to dictate a little bit more in the midfield. Here's Blankenship now to Caranta, who's wide on the right because Taylor Malum's up in the centre forward position. Caranta wants support. Just gets round the defender untidily, but does it anyway. Here's Blankenship. Blankenship to Malum. Malum's dispossessed, comes back to Blankenship. Could hit one. We've seen her do it from this before, but then in steps Morlock. Good challenge coming in here from Kelsey Sheldon.
Yeah, Texas Spurs are not going to make it easy on Fortuna today. They would love to rain on their parade of the fantastic season that they've had so far, and you just see Texas Spurs just stepping in, continue to battle, pushing the ball forward. Looks like we're going to get our second hydration break.
Yeah, well, Brittany can look up the score from the World Cup. We'll see where that's half time. Let's bring you up some of our graphics we've got about next weekend. First of all, we can look at the tables, the schedules, to see who we think will play who. Fortuna Tulsa in the north, top of the league, and they will stay there no matter what happens today. South Star, no matter what happens, they have finished. They are finished in second place. So Fortuna will play the second place team from the South Division. South Star will play the top. Now currently it sits with AHFC Royals. They've finished. That 7-1-2 is there. 10 games finished in 23. So you look down at the second place team, TTI Blue Bonnets. They've got 2 games to go and they've only got to make up 1 point. So we're expecting it to be TTI Blue Bonnets playing South Star and Fortuna Tulsa playing AHFC. There we go. We've been a bit presumptuous in doing that. The team from Houston, who none of us know too much about, apart from they look as though they've had a pretty good season down there in the South. Yeah,
again, the South Division is a very hard side as well. You have a lot of really good players coming out of that Houston area, so I'm sure that Yolanda Thomas this week will be looking at footage and game film, seeing exactly what's in store for them next weekend.
And the World Cup score?
It is 1-1 at halftime.
There you go, so lots to play for there. Of course, this is when other teams always wanted to go into extra time and penalties just to tire them out a little bit more, don't you? But
yep.
1-1 it is, evenly balanced there. Germany against Sweden. Of course, the Netherlands beating Italy by 2-0 earlier on this morning. So they await the winner of that Germany-Sweden game. And of course, we all know by now, America, the USA, plays England next Tuesday for a place in the World Cup final.
And what a game that's going to be. All eyes watching.
Here's Shiloh Price. Low ball into the box, a good one. Cut out well by Morlock.
Ooh, good bit of skill.
And a little trip there. That's on our friend Messina, who had a very good first half on the left. She's now on the right. Another substitution. Anna Beffa's going to be withdrawn. And so is Morlock for Texas Spurs. Imani Morlock comes off, and on comes the red banded Caitlin Cairo.
Looks like Bryn McQuaid is coming on for Fortuna Tulsa on that left side.
Here's Roman Langer. Bryn McQuaid, who's not seen too much playing time, so she'll enjoy getting on this left-hand side. Did make a fleeting appearance in the first half as well, the number 19. Played last season. Now here's Shiloh Price, chipping the ball over the top here for Blankenship. Is inside the box, out comes the keeper, does well at the second bite of the cherry as well. Good goalkeeping, but a great threaded ball through for Rachel Blankenship.
It was Rachel Blankenship playing making those runs through. Shiloh Price, those two connecting so well together this season. And then we see another excellent save by the Texas Spurs goalkeeper.
Yeah, Chuffo, she's had a good day.
She could definitely be a different scoreline.
Yeah, she's beaten early on by, well, the first goal she couldn't have done anything about. Slightly off a line maybe for the second goal. Aisling Kidderman is on at right back now. Throws the ball in field. Reagan Whitlow's in there as well, battling away in the deep midfield. That's a threaded ball through, which is offside. Won't count. Kessler's offside, just went a yard early. So Bryn McQuaid on in the left-hand side. It looks like Blankenship and Mallam are up there in the front line. Rachel Blankenship with Guthrie and Shiloh Price in behind with Reagan Whitlow as well. So somewhat of a 4-3-3, and you don't often see Rachel Blankenship playing as the kind of number 9, do you?
You don't. Normally she just kind of holds that number 10 spot usually for Fortuna or playing in the middle of the park there. But again, a lot of versatile players for Fortuna Tulsa. We talked about it in the first half as well, kind of moving those puzzle pieces around, seeing what other roles everyone can play, what formations you can do. Yolanda Thomas, experimenting a little bit with her formations and lineups.
Yes, indeed, and yet another substitution here. Taylor Mallam's going to get a well-earned rest. And on comes our next substitute for Fortuna Tulsa, which is the number 27, Aubrey Leckleider. So lots of players being used, as has been the kind of way that Fortuna's done this season. Cora Dunnett's coming off, and this is a great moment here for Ellie Chappell, former Bishop Kelly girl, graduated a couple of years ago, won a state championship with Bishop Kelly, wearing 16, will go into the left back spot and will receive the ball here. Did make a fleeting appearance in the first half. Stabs the ball down the left-hand side. McQuaid, low ball into the box, and that's away, and that should be a throw into Ellie Chappell. Bryn McQuaid from Tulsa, played for TSC, went to high school in Jinx, and attends Missouri State. Kelsey Gordon is coming off, and we'll see who's coming on now. So Kelsey Gordon, who's been at the heart of the defence pretty much all season. She takes a well-earned rest as well. Must be nice to go off and get a cool drink there.
I'm sure it is.
And it is Hayley Van Vossen. What a shot! Hits the post. Van Vossen's come on to the back. That was a great strike there from Shiloh Price.
It was.
Keeper beaten, but not the post.
Yeah, just off the post there, but she did so well to get a good look at it. She struck through the ball so cleanly, and then it just drifts off to that right post. She's denied by the woodwork over there.
Just wonder whether we might be able to get a replay on that one, because there's a beautiful shape on the shot, and I'm just wondering whether our pitchside camera got a good shot of that, because it was a really nice shape, just coming in, just not bending in enough. See whether we can work on that replay for you. Here is Price, who hit the post. Now shade over the field. Hooton steps in. Cairo there. There's two Cairos on the field. Caitlin Cairo and Danielle Cairo. Ali Guthrie battling in the midfield. Perky there gets involved, the number 4 in the centre again. Still, Texas Spurs trying to build. 20 minutes to go here, 2-1. Now another couple of substitutions. Almost too many to tell you about.
It is. It's hard to keep track. People are coming in and out of the game.
But we will tell you that the goal scorer is back on. Kelsey Sheldon wearing 15, going up front with that red armband, one of the captains. Here she is in possession now, under pressure from Reagan Whitlow. She turns, can't get past Whitlow. Reagan Whitlow from Broken Arrow. Went to Broken Arrow High School and then just up the road to TU. Addie Guthrie comes off. Sierra Schwartz comes on. They're all playing in different positions. Sierra Schwartz is your out-and-out striker, isn't she? And she's kind of playing in a deep midfield role, I think.
Yeah, Sierra Schwartz, another one that can play in lots of different positions.
Here's Mpei. Messina getting involved there. Is Perky, but she's dispossessed by Ellie Chappell. And this will be a throw-in to Mendiola. Mendiola to Messina. Messina now shrugging off the defender. Good ball from Schwartz to Blankenship. Can bring in McQuaid here. And McQuaid just a little bit slow on that one. Good ball from Blankenship. Few oohs and ahs from the crowd.
Yeah, it was really close. She would have had a lot of space in front of her if she would have been able to get into that ball from Blankenship, but just a little bit too much pace in the ball.
But you know, I want to say that, okay, it's a different day and there's not too much on this game for either team, but Texas Spurs have really shut down the space for Fortuna today. It hasn't been the same flowing Fortuna Tulsa we've been used to.
It hasn't. I mean, as the game goes on, Fortuna Tulsa's done a great job of being able to break teams down, find a lot of space, move the ball around. But Texas Spurs has done a good job of defensively putting themselves in positions where they're not giving Fortuna Tulsa those clear looks on the ball like they're used to getting.
Throw into Fortuna Tulsa. Aubrey Lechleider working hard down that right-hand side. Kitterman with the throw into Schwartz. Schwartz has got rather tangled up there. And in the end, I think she's going to be adjudged to have pushed the player over. So still plenty to come then in terms of Fortuna Tulsa's season next weekend. Potentially 3 games. Well, definitely 3 games. Potentially 2 for Fortuna to be involved with. Of course, you have to win the semi-final to be in a chance of playing in the final on the Sunday afternoon. That's all going to be down at Titan Sports Complex. A little push in the back. Free kick. Kelsey Sheldon with it. Well, she's going to leave it, is she? Players coming forward aplenty here. Texas Spurs really have got nothing else to play for. They might as well go for the win here. They want to get back on level terms first, of course.
Yeah, they definitely want to end the season on a high note, and they've worked very hard for it so far in this game. Defensively working, battling for every single ball.
Here's the ball in from Sheldon then. Underneath this is Ellie Chappell getting a header on. Then it's hooked towards goal. And it just drops over, and I thought for one moment it was going to drop in.
From this angle, it did. My heart kind of stopped there for a second. But yeah, good ball in from Texas Spurs there. Continuing to give Fortuna Tulsa a hard time.
This year it finished Texas Spurs 1, Fortuna Tulsa 2. Nikki Caranta and Taylor Mallum with the goal scorers there a few weeks ago now in a hard-fought 2-1 victory down in the Dallas area. Of course, South Star, FC Dallas, Texas Spurs, all from that Dallas area. And you throw in Fortuna Tulsa and Oklahoma City FC. have the Red River North. 8 games. This is the 8th for Fortuna, who sits 6-0-1. Can they make it 7-0-1? Out comes the keeper. Has to punch there. Back in, just over the top from Reagan Whitlow.
And Haley Van Possen on it with those deep free kicks today.
Yeah, she's got a real boot on her, hasn't she?
She does. She strikes it so well. It's hard for women's players to be able to hit a ball that far and be able to get that much pace behind it, but she does very well. Her and Ashton Gordon have a gift of striking the ball that long. Yeah, no Ashton Gordon today. I understand she's broken her nose. She has, unfortunately, last week in the game against Oklahoma City, I believe. Yeah, I think it happened early on in the game as well. But, anyway, back to the here and now. Here's Pei just managing to get the ball back. Here's Cairo. Caitlin Cairo. Oh, we have an update in the Sweden-Germany game. It looks like Sweden has taken the lead 2-1 against Germany. Blackstenius has scored in the 48th minute. Very early on in the second half there, but Sweden it is then who have the advantage, and that is a free kick, and the referee actually wants to give a yellow card here, and it's going to go to Aubrey Leckleider for the challenge from behind. Yeah, she just got it from behind. She had good advantage going forward, so she stops a good attack there. So definitely card worthy. Although we don't see too many yellow cards in the games that we've seen, but I do tend to agree with the center there. Yeah, it just sometimes needs a card, doesn't it? Yeah, the game's gotten a little physical here. I think both sides getting tired. Scoreline is still close. Gotta love that foam, though. I was just going to say that wasn't a very straight line. It wasn't. I think he needs to. I think he needs to practice a little bit. We get the idea. Yeah. At least it's not one of those that puts it on the player's boots. Have you seen that? And then they get upset about it. That's always fun. That's a good ball. Well headed up by Ellie Chappell. Yeah, Ellie Chappell. But yeah, with the expensive boots that these players wear. Oh yeah, it's like surprised. A $300 pair of boots, and he puts all the foam on, and I'm sure they don't like that. Now, ball dangerous in there again. Ellie Chappell has to clear from around about the penalty spot, and then Whitlow anywhere will do at the moment for Fortuna Tulsa as they preserve this 2-1 lead. Here's Blankenship now. Can she get something going? Chipping the ball into the feet of Charlotte Price. Charlotte Price now, one touch has taken her away. Bryn McQuaid is joining in the middle. Comes back here to Schwartz. She can hit them. She does try a little curler towards the near post. We could see what she was doing because we were right behind it. Yeah, that was sneaky. She's just trying to sneak one in on near post. She hit it well, kept it low, but just a little too far on the outside of the post there. Another hydration break, I think, with 12 minutes to go. I could see the referee was talking to both coaches. And again, I think, Brittany, on a hot day, this is something that needs to be taken into consideration, and it's a very good idea. Yeah, I mean, the heat index is still 105 degrees out there. I mean, it's humid. It's sunny. There's a little bit of clouds right now, but there hasn't been much of a breeze, and the air's really hot and still. So here we see Shira Schwartz. Great left-footed strike. She just kind of sees it, bends in, just not quite enough to sneak in that near post. I wonder if we've got the replay. We'll see in a minute. Here it is again, back to Sierra Schwartz. I wonder if we've got the Charlotte Price effort that hit the woodwork. That's twice that Fortuna Tulsa have hit the woodwork. Charlotte Price earlier on in the match, hitting the woodwork. We'll see if we can get that one done. Thanks again to our camera men today, Mo and Dylan. Here it is. This is what we were looking for, and look at this for a strike, Brittany. Yeah, she does such a good job, and again, the throw-in comes in, and one of the small things that Shiloh Price does so well that makes her so good is she just lets that ball just kind of roll past her, and she uses her body to beat that defender, and it sets her up perfectly for the strike. She gets a touch, she gets her head up, strikes through it, and then that 12th man over there, the post. And again, I want to pay tribute to our two cameramen, Mo and Dylan, for giving us those shots, and also to producer Michael Blazik, who slows things down. You can see the curve of the ball, and that's wonderful. Big time. Thank you. Yes. Big time right there. I will tell you, just while we've got a break, I'm watching the Cricket World Cup, which again, I know It's very English of you.
Very English. But it is Cricket World Cup, and I was watching this game, and all of a sudden all of the players were lying on the floor, and it was during the game, and I wondered what was going on, whether there's a prank being played. And then the cameras, the HD cameras, can pick up the bees, the swarm of bees that were flying across the field. And that's why everybody had hit the deck. And of course they slowed it down. You could see the wings of the bees.
Oh, wow.
It was
the technology we have nowadays.
There it is. Back to the here and now. 2-1 it is to Fortuna Tulsa. 2 goals inside the first 17 minutes. And there will be a foul.
It'll be interesting to see who takes this. You have so many good players for Fortuna that I'm sure are going to want to bite at this free kick. Looks like Sierra Schwartz is going to get the honors.
She's quite a way out here, Brittany. Left to centre, 25 yards plus.
Yeah, at least. I mean, we did see her from distance a few games ago, hitting a cracker on a free kick.
Foul was committed by Cami Dady. 3 in the wall. Naomi Shooten decides to go away, so 2 in the wall. Yeah, we've seen this down at Titan, haven't we, against FC Dallas in the 2-0 win. Here is Schwartz then, stepping up. Low, didn't quite get the purchase she wanted. She's disappointed by her own standards. Good goalkeeping, getting everything behind it.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she hit it well. She was trying to. It looks like she was trying to keep it low like that. When it's low and the ball's kind of bouncing, it's hard for those goalkeepers to see, and sometimes the wall can kind of get in the way. We saw that against the U.S. and France. It just kind of snuck through. I think that's what Sierra Schwartz
could try it again. She does. Strike. Oh, that's a tremendous save.
It was.
Well, it was a great hit from Sierra Schwartz, but the save was even better. Well done, the goalkeeper, Chuffo.
Oh yeah, Chuffo's having an incredible game. I mean, she's doing a much better job of holding her line. She got caught on that one goal by Shiloh Price, but since then she's come up huge for Texas Spurs and really kept them in this match.
Perky is coming on. Off goes one of the Cairo sisters, Caitlin. Good save from Chuffo. The noisy freight train is
yet another one coming through.
Yeah.
We had planes at Titan, and we got trains at One Oak.
Yes, get used to that when you're with us next weekend. We're right next to Jinx Airport. Here's Shiloh Price. Chappell tries a little shot towards goal. Now there's another shot coming in, and down goes the keeper on that one.
Yeah, it looks like it fell right to Rachel Carroll, but right to her feet. It's hard for her to kind of get her feet planted to try to hit a good quality shot back into Chappell there.
Yeah, Eddie Chappell getting involved up from the left back position. Sierra Schwartz, who had that latest effort, turned away by Chuffo, the keeper, for a corner. Still 2-1. Still anybody's game. Here's Morlock now. She just let that one go over the white line. And that will be a throw-in. Morlock, who started the game at centre back, now playing right wing.
Yeah, she's kind of moved around for Texas Spurs a little bit.
Mendiola comes out, and so does Dardy. Cami Dardy is coming out as well. And we're going to see the hard-working number 10, Masomo, come back into the fray. Puts the physicality around, and I think Bryn McQuaid is coming out, and Ellie Chappell's coming off as well, and Aisling Kitterman, so they've all had a few minutes. Smitherman will come back in. Just trying to see who else that is coming back in for Fortuna Tulsa. Could be Roman Langer. No, it's Taylor Mallam, isn't it?
Yep.
Who's come back in. Cora Dunnett comes to left back, and she'll come and take the throw in. Yeah, Taylor Mallam, 4 goals, 3 assists. Her and Charlotte Price now leading for the goal scoring, both on 4. Scored 8 of the 16 scored by Fortuna Tulsa. That came off Mallam. It's going to be a throw in here for Morlock as we enter the last 6 minutes of this game, and the train's still thundering through. Here's Perky. Morlock up against Mallam, scoops it forward, cut out by Dunnett. Dunnett goes square here to Whitlow. Whitlow back to the number 99, Van Fossen. She's under pressure. from two Texas Spurs players who will not give this one up.
No, I mean, it's such a credit to them. It's hot. They're working hard. They don't have as many subs as Fortuna has over there on that side, and I mean, they've just given it their all this whole game. I mean, continuing to press with 2 numbers high, and giving Haley Van Vossen a hard time, not making it easier on that side there. So I mean, it's really stopped a lot of Fortuna's offensive cohesion that they usually have by this time in the match, and you know, again, you see 2 players pressing hard there from Texas Spurs, battling again.
Yeah, battling again, and it just didn't get to the feet there of Boswell. Here's Houghton looking for Boswell. Good intelligent ball. Still Germany 1, Sweden 2 as same score here, and then there's a side footer from Kessler just wide.
Yeah, Boswell's done a wonderful job of getting separation from her defenders, from Fortuna, the Fortuna defenders all day. She gets a great service across, and I think that 26 there for
Kessler.
Yeah, Kessler. I think she thought maybe she was a little bit more central in the goal, just trying to redirect and place it there, just off target.
Kennedy Kessler, 22-year-old. Rachel Carroll battling in there with Blankenship now. Blankenship, good reverse ball to Schwartz. Schwartz to Carroll. Carroll back to Blankenship. Those three combining well. Here's Schwartz again now. Central. She's got Mallam out wide, but she goes for a shot herself. An easy save for Juffa that time. Yeah,
that's a better bit of play there from Fortuna, connecting some more passes, moving up the ball a little bit better.
2-1 the score. That's a good piece of play. Van Vossen heads it infield. Guthrie will clear. Houghton's underneath this one. Under pressure from Price. Foul by Charlotte Price.
Yeah, Charlotte Price is coming a little hard from behind her there.
Free kick then, another substitution. Rachel Carroll's going to come off. And we're going to see the number 6, Edgar, come on. Tristan Edgar. Free kick then by Masomo. Headed in. Van Vossen away. Ball loose. Looking for Tristan Edgar out there. Can't find her. Masomo tidies up for Texas Spurs. Here's Mish Houghton there. Still they build. Still they want this equaliser. Ball over the top. Across comes Van Vossen. She was up against 2 white-shirted players just for a moment there.
Yeah, Texas Spurs pushing a lot of numbers forward, trying to get that second goal to equalize Fortuna Tulsa in this last few minutes of this hot game.
Sierra Schwartz is going to come out.
Looks like Smitherman's going to get a rest as well.
Or she's going to be pushed up front, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say that's Kelsey Gordon come back on. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, Smitherman looks like she's going up in that number 9 role.
Well, again, Yolanda Thomas able to try different things out here in this game. Remember, Fortuna Tulsa have already won this Northern Division, and they'll play next week. Next Saturday evening, a week from tonight, in the semi-final against one of the first or second teams from the Southern Division. It's all going to happen at Titan Sports Complex in South Tulsa. That ball is out. It's going to be a throw in to Fortuna Tulsa. Time running out now. We're coming up to, well, this is the 90th minute. So just up to another 45 seconds, and then whatever the referee deems fair to be added on. I wouldn't have thought there'd be a lot on the clock at the end of this one, Brittany.
Probably just 2 or 3 minutes. Not a lot of injuries or stoppages, unless they take a little bit of extra for the 2 hydration breaks that we had this half.
That is true. Ball threaded forward again. Still they come in the shape of Kessler. Good tackle from Kelsey Gordon there. Van Vossen challenging, getting a header over Sheldon. Here's Dunnock. Masoma cuts it out, gives it to Hooten. 5 minutes to be added on here. You're right about the drinks breaks, I think that's what it was. So 5 more minutes. Chance then, if you're a Texas Spurs fan tuning into this one for an equaliser. If you're a Fortuna fan, you want to go through the regular season unbeaten, certainly, and you'd love to finish with 7 wins out of 8. Charlotte Price flicking the ball on there. Here's Roman Langer, who's a versatility player, as we know. She's playing at right back. Here's Price now driving forward. Good ball to Smitherman here. Taylor Mallam joining the party late. That's a good run from her. Here she is going in towards the box. It's going to fall here to Blankenship. Blankenship now, could this be 3? She's going to go round one more defender, is she? And that's a good piece of defending from Morlock in the end.
It
really
was,
good defending.
Yeah, Taylor Mallam is a tremendous player 1v1, and she's did an excellent job of shutting her down. Fortuna does win the corner there.
And it still remains 2-1 to Sweden against Germany in the quarterfinal of the Women's World Cup, the last quarterfinal, for a chance to play against the Netherlands in the semi-final. Corner then, taken short. Blankenship and Mallam just want to see this one out now. Perky was in there with a challenge. Mallam just throws it into the corner to Blankenship, and the referee says that is out for a goal kick. And now urgency, because Chuffle wants to get on with this, the goalkeeper, because she wants to finish the season with only their 2nd point. If they could force a goal here in stoppage time. Ball headed on by Hooten. Back from Dunnock. The chase is from Morlock. It's got to go long now. They've got to get into the other half, and in fact that's out. And that's going to be a throw in, and Cora Dunnock can take some more time out of this one.
Yeah, she's going to take a little bit of gamesmanship here and run the clock down, give her team a little bit more of a rest.
And now it's thumped away up towards halfway. Here's Perky. Is there one last chance? Here's Hooten. The willing Boswell runner, the 2 number 9s together. That's a foul by Roman Langer. Is it? No, says the referee. Throw into Fortuna Tulsa. Roman Langer it is then with it in the last few seconds of this game. Smitherman. Back to Langer. Langer into no man's land here now. Isn't paid. Driven down though by Shiloh Price. Slips in her great friend here, Taylor Mallam. Mallam wanted to return the favour, but out comes Chuffo. And Chuffo will need to go long here. Seconds left in this one. 2-1 to Fortuna Tulsa. Ball flicked on. Is there one last chance? Van Vossen's back there. She'll go back to Alexis back here, who clears. Van Vossen got a little shove in the back for her troubles. Here's Mallam. Drives it forward. That'll go through to the keeper. Van Vossen's slow to get to her feet. It's been a physical battle out there, Brittany.
It has. I mean, Texas Spurs wants to upset Fortuna's party here. They're pressing hard, and Fortuna's not just going to let that happen either, so they're battling back as well.
That ball is out. Throw in then. Cora Dunnock it is, just a few yards back inside her own half, right down by our pitch side camera there. And there's a foul.
Maybe a little frustration foul there.
Yeah, little frustration foul, as you say, from Kennedy Messina. She's battled hard today. That was too much of a battle.
She's a great player, excellent skill on the ball. Just unfortunately hasn't had a lot of support around her going forward there for Texas Spurs.
But certainly it's something for Texas Spurs to build on for next season, you would have thought.
Definitely how you want to end. You don't want to come in, I mean, Fortuna Tulsa, I mean, could have scored a lot of goals on them in this game, and Texas Spurs did not allow that to happen. I mean, they went 2-0 down, but they didn't stop. They kept pressing, they kept working hard.
Van Vossen's ball is almost an own goal. Masoma, who there just took it off the keeper's hands. It's what you said, it's a Van Vossen long ball in. Masoma's okay, I think. I'm just going to check her. I think she did get clattered into there.
Yeah, it looks like she did a little bit. Dangerous going up for those balls in the air.
And with seconds left, it is a head injury, so it'll need attending to. I don't know whether we can get a replay just on that, just to see exactly what happened. But it was goalkeeping and defending at its best, because it was a Van Vossen hit from behind. I think they're all saying that she's okay now. Van Vossen's driven ball into the box there.
Her balls are absolutely deadly coming in.
But Masoma did what any good defender would do.
Yeah, you got to be brave there. Got to be brave and sacrifice it, and she did.
16 minutes left in the World Cup, and it's still Germany 1, Sweden 2. Foul throw that was, so Texas Spurs have one last go, and Van Vossen boots the ball up onto the sweet level here that we're sat on. Here's Guthrie battling away just for these last few seconds, just to professionally see things out. There's Malum driving it down in the corner, and Pei, and the referee brings proceedings to an end. And it's been a really good, hard-fought battle, which Fortuna Tulsa have just about won against a very, very determined bottom of the league side in Texas Spurs.
I think determined is a great word. I mean, they worked incredibly hard. Going down 2-0 against the team that's at the top of the table is hard to continue to battle against, especially in the elements and the heat. You're on the road. There's a lot of things against them, but they didn't give up. They kept working. They kept pressing. They worked hard. They worked as a unit. They kept possession of the ball. They worked. They were able to get that one goal back, and then didn't make it easy on Fortuna for the rest of the match. They got a little lucky. Fortuna hit the post a couple times, but you know, hats off to Texas Spurs traveling, playing this heat. You know, they never gave up, and they worked hard and battled, so props to them.
And this is what it's all about, isn't it? We got hugs, and there's a nice hug there from Rachel Hummingbird, who didn't play today, but she obviously knows me shooting pretty well, and they battled hard, and this is what it's all about, is the friendly nature. After the game, you know, you go hard for 90 minutes, and it's all handshakes at the end. And Brittany, not a bad season, 7-0-1, just 2 points drop. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I would not say that's a bad season at all. That's a tremendous season. Amazing season for Fortuna Tulsa, but you know, Yolanda Thomas is the first one that's going to say they're not done. So they've got more games to play, and they're going to move on to the next one, and they're ready for it.
Here they are. Alexis Packledge is taking the drink in the lime green. She was beaten once today inside a frantic 20 minutes that contained the 3 goals. Fortuna Tulsa raced off to a 2-0 lead. They're waving to the fans that are below us here. In the background there, you can just see Troy Tokarczyk, the assistant, and Yolanda Thomas, all smiles from her, especially as she checks the World Cup score as well and finds that Sweden are still winning 2-1. But as you say, she'll now forget all this. She'll say, okay, well done, you know, 7-0-1, but now we prepare for the 2 big games.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's got to look at her team playing 2 games. I mean, you've also got to take 1 game at a time, and they're going to be battling for that semifinal, but they're going to want to be in that championship game on Sunday. So Yolanda Thomas out there doing her dance at the end of the game. She's gotten famous for it, which is, I mean, hats off to her, because she has such a great side, and they're such competitors just naturally on their own, but she's done such an amazing job of keeping those players determined, being diligent, having focus, but also making it fun. So it's that balance where you're really like drawing the best from your players, but you know, it's a summer league for a lot of these players, you know, and she's made it fun, and they're obviously winning, so that's really fun when you're winning. But I'm sure she's going to be going to the drawing board this week, looking at her oppositions for next weekend, looking to advance Fortuna further than they ever have before in our 2nd season.
And whilst you have the likes of Anna Beffer and obviously your Taylor Mallons and Charlotte Prices, and I could go on, it was good to see fringe players like Bryn McQuaid getting in there. Kitterman got a few minutes, you know, Ellie Chappell gets in. It's good, it's a squad game, and they'll need everybody for next weekend.
Yeah, definitely, and those players work hard in practice. I mean, I've seen some of the Fortuna practices, and they work hard, they train hard, they push each other, a lot like the U.S. Women's National Team. When you're on the pitch and you're working, like, man, you're giving it everything you have. And those players want to get in the game. They want to get minutes. You know, they're there to support the team first and foremost, but, you know, as a player, you always want to get on the field and play. You always want to kind of get those starting minutes. And I think that just elevates this Fortuna side even more, that everyone understands they have a role to play in the team, but, you know, it just shows that their continued hard work and perseverance, you know, gets them on the field. And it helps Fortuna rest players and move people around. It helps their side all in a whole, and it just shows what a good mentality that Fortuna's really building as a club so far.
Well, there it is. Undefeated. Thank you for your support this regular season. Stay tuned for special announcements soon. We've told you some of what is going to go on next weekend. Brittany, will you join me there?
Oh, absolutely. Can't wait.
It's going to be fun. We'll just see if we'll go to a short break, and we'll come back and we will show you some of the highlights of the game, with the final score is Fortuna 2, Texas Spurs 1. We'll take a short break, back with the highlights very soon. Well, welcome back in, everybody. There we are, perched up here on the suite level at One Oak Field. The Roughnecks will be playing here tonight against the Real Monarchs. Kickoff at 7:30 p.m. This is the home of the Tulsa Drillers as well. And for this season, it's been the home of Fortuna Tulsa, and we have seen a very impressive season from these girls. It was not easy today, made not easy by the bottom side Texas Spurs, who came in here determined to get something from it, and nearly did. They nearly did inside that first half. Let's have a look at the first half highlights here, Brittany, and we'll start off with the first goal here for Fortuna.
Yeah, we talked about it. Shiloh Price being such a key player for Fortuna, does an excellent job, just gets her head up, and just a beautiful ball across to Taylor Malum, who does an amazing job of just putting it back in.
I just think I admire that so much, that clipped ball in there that just Malum didn't have to move. It was just get your head on it and it's in the back of the net.
Yep, and then we see again, it was good play by Fortuna to build it up. An amazing through ball by Rachel Blankenship, just waits it. And again, Shiloh Price doing what Shiloh Price does, being crafty on the ball. She gets her head up. She has so much composure. Sees that the goalkeeper's off her line a little bit, and then just has it go on her own.
And after 15 minutes, it was 2-0. You thought the floodgates could open up here, but we did see a goal for Texas Spurs, which we'll bring you in a moment, because it made it a frantic first 20 minutes. Remember, at this point, Fortuna Tulsa were 2-0 to the good. But back came Texas Spurs, and just while we're getting that goal ready, Brittany, how impressed were you with their fight and determination today, bottom of the league side?
They were, and they worked all over the ball, all over the field. From their back line to their forwards working to press and making it difficult, and they found a lot of joy on this right side. There's a great service across and then brought down beautifully. That's not easy to bring down so quickly. She has the composure to kind of get around her defender there, gets her head up, and then just puts it on the floor back across the goalkeeper. So it looks like it's an easy finish there, but in reality it's not. That's great composure there.
Yeah, Kelsey Sheldon it was, who brought the game within the first 20 minutes then to Fortuna Tulsa 2, Texas Spurs 1. That is ironically how it finished. There was a lot of huffing and puffing, a lot of physical challenges going on, great goalkeeping saves. Here we had a shot in the second half, Shiloh Price.
Yeah, Shiloh Price, again, doing a great job of just kind of letting the ball roll across her body. She looks to see if the goalkeeper's off her line a little bit. She looks to have a go. Beautiful strike. She hits it so clean, and Fortuna hitting the post a couple times in that second half.
Yes, and Sierra Schwartz had a shot that was similar fate. She curled it in and hit the post. I think we'll see that one now. This is Charlotte Price on the ball, deep in the corner there, pulls it back.
She gets her head up, and then Sierra Schwartz making a great run. She wants it. She hits it with her left foot. She's great with her left and her right. She looks just to kind of curl it in and sneak it in that front post, just a little too far on the outside.
And that's how it finished. It finished here. Fortuna 2, Texas Spurs 1, and it's been an outstanding season. Just one final comment from you, Brittany, on just how good the coaching and the players have been this season.
Yeah, I think it's a culmination in everything. I mean, it's a very well-run club, and Wayne Farmer and Barry Williams have done an amazing job with this team and bringing in such talent. And then Yolanda Thomas, Donovan Bradshaw, Troy Tuharchik have done a great job of really keeping the players motivated, excited, but at the same time working hard and demanding a certain level of excellence from them. And I think the players have been there to put that on the field every single game.
Brittany, I'll say again, you'll join me next Saturday, won't you?
Yes,
because we're going to bring you, we'll just bring the caption up here and tell you the graphic here about next weekend, because it is semi-finals and final. Don't worry, you won't miss anything in the Women's World Cup either. It's semi-finals next Saturday, the 6th, we think around about 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Look out on social media for the exact times of kickoffs, and Fortuna Tulsa will feature in one of those games. We are covering everything for the whole league, and then the final will be on Sunday afternoon after the World Cup champions have been crowned in the morning. Thank you so much. Fortuna, there it is, caps off an undefeated season. Thank you for your support this regular season. Stay tuned. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you to Michael Blazik. Thank you to Dylan and Mo on the cameras. We've enjoyed bringing you these productions. We look forward to bringing you more next week. Final score for the final time then is Fortuna Tulsa 2, Texas Spurs 1.